Hello everybody, I'm Charlie, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make gumbo. Now this gumbo has shrimp, crabs, smoked sausage, hot sausage, gizzards, and it even has okra in it. That's right. And today I'm going to be showing you step by step on how to make this delicious gumbo. I'm going to show you how to make the roux. I'm going to show you how to make 2 different types of stock to put in your gumbo. I'm going to show you how to chop up all your meat, your seasonings, your seafood, everything to put into your gumbo so that way you can have a wonderful, delicious pot of gumbo right in your kitchen. That's right. Now, as you all may know, gumbo originated in Louisiana, and as for me, I am from New Orleans. I was born and raised in New Orleans. And after watching some videos on how some people make gumbo, I had no other choice. I had to come out with a video to show people what New Orleans is all about when it comes to making gumbo. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay, let's get started with the first pot of gumbo. I just want to show y'all how this looks. And as you can see, this gumbo is cold, so it's gonna be thick like this when it's cold. Okay, I'm gonna show you the consistency of it. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Yep. So let's get started. Okay, this is all what you're gonna need to make your gumbo, and we're gonna get started with our ingredients. Okay, first things first, you're going to need some all-purpose flour and some vegetable oil. And what we're going to make with that is we're going to make what you call a roux. A roux is basically a thickener used for soups, sauces, and gravies. And for this recipe, you're going to need your roux to be dark brown. Okay, as you can see, this is a nice dark brown roux. This roux should not be any lighter than this. It should be a nice dark brown color. Okay, and in this video I'm going to show you step by step on how to make this roux. Okay, and also you're going to need 4 pounds of fresh Louisiana shrimp. Now this is fresh local Louisiana shrimp right here. It's not imported from China or anything else. Okay, also you're going to need 2 pounds of crabs. And for your meat, you're going to need some chicken gizzards. You're going to need about 2 pounds of that, 2 to 3 pounds of that. You're also going to need some D&D smoked sausage. Now this smoked sausage is a good quality smoked sausage down here in New Orleans, and it's only found in Louisiana. Okay? And along with that, you're going to need some hot sausage. Now I'm going to show you how it looks. This is the links. Hot sausage links, and I'm going to show you the patties, and that's the patties over there. Okay, now for this recipe you could either use the links or the patties, but I'm going to use the links. Okay, now this is not your regular old hot smoked sausage from your grocery store. This is not what this is. Okay, alright, so you're going to need that. And for your vegetables and seasonings, you're going to need 1 pound of fresh okra. Not okra out of a bag, fresh okra, 1 pound. Okay? Along with that, you're going to need some parsley, some celery, some green onion, some yellow onion, bell pepper, and garlic. Okay, and for the rest of your seasonings, as you can see, this is all New Orleans brand seasonings. You're going to need some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. If you don't have that, you could either use some Zatarain's Creole seasoning or even Slap Your Mama, either one. Along with that, you're going to need some cayenne pepper, some accent, some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood Magic, and Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poetry Magic. And last but not least, the gumbo filet. Now some people use bay leaves and thyme and all that mess. Me personally, I don't use that. I think gumbo filet does its job of that, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, and also for your gumbo pot, you're going to need a 12 to 15 quart pot, and this is how it looks. You're going to need that. And also, for your optional ingredients, you're going, if you want to use andouille smoked sausage, you can use andouille smoked sausage, but if you are going to use this, you can half that with the D&D smoked sausage, and you'll be good to go. Also, you can also add chicken necks and chicken drumlets into this recipe. Now, like I said, down here in New Orleans, recipes vary from house to house. There is no set recipe, okay? And also, diced tomatoes. Now, I've never put diced tomatoes in my gumbo, nor have my family put diced tomatoes in their gumbo. But if you do add diced tomatoes, this would be what you call a Creole gumbo, and we're not making Creole gumbo today, okay? I had gumbo with diced tomatoes, and me personally, it's just a personal preference to me. I just don't, use it in my gumbo. All right. Okay, and also for this recipe, you're going to need 2 different types of stock. One of the key things to making a nice, delicious tasting gumbo is to make a nice, wonderful stock. And here we have some shrimp stock and some chicken stock, and I'm going to show you how it looks. This is the shrimp stock here. This is homemade shrimp stock from scratch. Okay. And over here we have the chicken stock, and I'm going to show you how that looks. Alright. This is homemade chicken stock from scratch. This is not out the can or the bottle or anything like that. This is homemade chicken stock. And all you're going to need is 6 quarts of water. You're going to need 3 quarts for the shrimp stock and 3 quarts for the chicken stock. And you already have the shrimp heads that you're going to use to make your shrimp stock, and the chicken gizzards to make your chicken stock. Now, I also want to tell you that if you have a slow cooker, that'll be great too, because you can get the best chicken stock using your gizzards with your slow cooker. Okay, so like I say, you're going to need some shrimp stock and some chicken stock, and in this video I'm going to show you step by step on how to make it. Okay, and there you have it. Alright, let's get started. We're going to go ahead and start by washing our hands. I'm going to put my gloves on. Now we're going to go ahead and chop up our seasonings. Now we're going to go ahead and chop up 1 yellow onion, and that's how it's going to look when you're done. I'm going to chop up 1 bell pepper. Don't forget to remove the center out. And that's how it's going to look when you get done. And we're going to go ahead and chop that up. Alright, now that we got that nice and chopped up, now we're going to go ahead and chop up our celery. Make sure you wash your celery off before you chop it. And we're going to go ahead and chop that up. And that's how it's going to look when you get done. Now we're going to go ahead and chop up our green onion. Chop that up real nice. And that's how it's going to look when you get done. Now we're going to go ahead and chop up our parsley. Now you got to make sure you chop up your parsley real good. Chop it up real fine until it's like coarse crumbs, like that. Nice and crumbly. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and chop up our garlic. We're going to remove it out the cocoon. And we're going to chop that up, about 6 cloves of it. Alright, and that's how it's going to look. Alright, now we're going to chop up our okra. Now we're going to chop it into little pieces. And we're going to take the rest and put it into a food processor. And we're going to blend that in. And that's how it's going to look when you get done. Now remember, we got to fry the slime out of that. Alright, now that is it for our seasonings. Now on to the shrimp video. I'm going to let you know that we want to keep our shrimp as cold as possible. So what I've done is I've got to have a little ice water bath underneath there to keep our shrimp cold. Okay? So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and take the head off. Yeah, I know it looks a little gross, but that's alright. I'm going to set that over there. And we're going to start at the bottom. We're just going to peel all the skin off the top, off the shell. Peel all the shell off. And you also want to place that with the bucket with the head in it. Okay? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and devein our shrimp. Now, I don't know if you see it or not, but there is a nice dark line going down the back of the shrimp. And what we want to do is going to take that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and we're just going to cut down the center. Be careful and watch your hands. Okay, I'm going to open it up. And as you can see, there it is. And you're going to pull that out. Alright, now your shrimp has been deveined. Okay, we just finished peeling and deveining our shrimp. Now we're going to go ahead and clean it. Now as you can see, I did add a little bit of the ice water from our bath in here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to keep our shrimp as cold as possible. I don't want to introduce any type of bacteria. I don't want the shrimp to go bad. So we want to keep it as cold as possible. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and rinse this out. Okay, now we're going to rinse our shrimp out. Make sure you rinse it out with cold water. Don't worry about the ice because the ice will melt. Now, like I said, we want to keep our shrimp as cold as possible. We don't want anybody getting sick, okay? Food poisoning is real, okay? We don't want nobody getting sick. Now, there we have it. Clean, peeled, and deveined shrimp. Alright, now we're back. Now we're going to go ahead and take our crabs and we're going to go ahead and break them in half. Now you can do it any way you want to. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and rinse that off with cold water. Clean it real good. Alright, that is it for our seafood. Now here we have our shrimp clean, peeled, and deveined. Our crabs ready to go. And our shrimp heads. Now remember, we're going to make our shrimp stock with this. So make sure you have that ready. Alright, now we're going to prepare our gizzards. We're going to remove them out of the pack and we're going to clean them. We're going to rinse them thoroughly with cold water. Rinse them real good. Alright, now we got that out the way. Now we're going to go ahead and take each gizzard and we're going to chop it in half. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and prepare our hot sausage balls. Now we're going to go ahead and remove some of the hot sausage. I'm going to take a small little bit amount of it and we're going to roll it into a ball. And it's going to be about that size. Very small. Okay? And you're going to make about 40 of these. Okay? And there you have it. And that's how it's going to look when you get done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and chop our smoked sausage. We're going to remove that out the pack. And we're going to chop it about 2 to 3/16 of an inch thick. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get started with our roux. Now I'm using a non-stick pan with a wooden spoon. Now to get started, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of oil, vegetable oil. I'm going to let this heat for about 3 minutes. Let it get real hot. Alright, and to that we're going to add about 1 cup of flour. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Start mixing it slowly because you want to take your time with this. You don't want it to splash on you and anything like that. So take your time mixing it in. And what we want to achieve is we want this roux to be a nice dark brown color. Not light brown, dark brown color. So it's going to take a while. It can take anywhere between 10, 15, or even 20 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Mix that in for about 5 minutes. Alright, after 5 minutes, my roux has thickened, as you can see here, and it is starting to change in color. Make sure your fire is on medium-high heat. And we want this roux to be a nice dark brown color. And another thing is you must keep stirring this roux. You can't stop stirring. You got to keep stirring. Stir, stir, stir. Alright, it's been about 12 minutes now. And as you can see, our roux is a nice brown color, but it's not a dark brown color like we want. So we got to keep mixing it even longer. Got to keep stirring this roux. And even if your roux burns, do not give up. Start over. Alright, and there we have it. Your roux should be done within at least about 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes it can take longer depending on your stove. But now that we're finished with that, we're going to go ahead and set that on the side and let it cool completely. Alright, for our crock pot, we're going to set it to high. We're going to get started with making our chicken stock. We're going to add our chicken gizzards right in there. Add it all at once. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add 3 quarts of warm water. And you're going to add at least about 1 to 2 tablespoons of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning and 1 tablespoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poetry Magic. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. And we're going to let this slow cook for about 8 hours, okay? Now, it's best that you do this either the day before or maybe like at 10, 11 o'clock at night, so when you get up, your chicken stock will be finished. Alright, now we got that going. Now it's time to make our shrimp stock. Now we're going to go ahead and add our shrimp heads into this large pot here. Add it all in there all at once. Alright, and to that we're going to add 3 quarts of warm water. And we're going to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And about 1 tablespoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood Magic. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. And we're going to let this come to a boil. And we're going to let it boil for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. So you just cover it and just let it boil for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Alright, now it's time to fry our okra, which is going to take a while. We're going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Spread that around your pot, your pan. And we're going to go ahead and add our okra. Okra can take the slime to fry out. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long time. Alright, you can add a little bit more vegetable oil if you like, but don't add too much. 2 tablespoons is all you need. That's it. Alright, and we're going to mix that in. And after about 12 minutes, your okra will start to separate. Right, it's been about 12 minutes now, and as you can see, your okra is starting to separate some. And you want to keep stirring. Do not stop stirring. Stir it, flip it, whatever. Keep going. Right, it's been about 18 minutes now, and as you can see, our okra is starting to separate, and it's starting to get a little toasty, so we're going to add a little bit of accent in there. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. And like I said, it's going to take a while. As you can see, the okra is still has a slime in it, so we're going to fry it until the slime comes out. And it can take up to 25 minutes. Alright, and our okra is done after about 25 minutes. Now, the longest I ever did it was for 30 minutes, but today it's 25, so all depends on your stove and what type of pots and stuff you're using. Alright, now that we got that onto a towel with some lined with paper towels, we're going to go ahead and get that grease out of there. I'm going to go ahead and put some napkins on top. Lots of napkins. And we're going to press down on that real good. And that'll get all of the grease out of there. And there you go. We're done. Now we're going to go ahead and fry the hot sausage balls. We're not frying them until they're done. We just want to sear them a little bit to get some of the oil out. Okay? So not only we're browning, we're getting all of the grease and everything out. We don't want none of that in our gumbo. Alright, now that we got that nice and fried on one side, we're going to go ahead and flip that over to the other side. Each individual to the other side. Just flip it over. Alright. Now that we got that flipped over, I'll flip it over to the other side. Now remember, it's going to take about 3 minutes on each side. You only have 2 sides, so it'll take about 3 minutes. Now that we got that done, we'll go ahead and put that in a strainer with something underneath there to catch the grease. Alright, now it's time to fry our smoked sausage. So we're going to just put that all in there all at once. I'm just going to mix it in slowly. And it should take nothing but like about 2.5 to 3 minutes to fry some of the grease out. That's it. And put a cover on top of it. And just fry it out. Okay, it's been about 1 minute. As you can see, it's starting to fry out. As you can see, some of the grease at the bottom. So we're going to let this go for about another 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, it's been about 2 to 3 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and take that and just add that into our strainer. And that's going to strain all the grease out. Oops, sorry about that, guys. And there you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and show y'all how much grease that we've gotten out of this. See, look at all that grease. We don't need all that in our gumbo. Now it's time to check on our stock. Now I did turn my fire off, and our shrimp stock is done. It's been about 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and drain that into a strainer with a large bowl underneath there. I'm going to go ahead and take these shrimp heads, and now we could just throw out the shrimp heads. We're done with that. We're finished. And there you have it, shrimp stock. Look how nice and beautiful in color that is. Look at that. Gonna give our gumbo a delicious flavor. Alright, now it's time to go ahead and check on our chicken gizzards. Now it's been about 8 hours. I let these cook overnight in our slow cooker. And they're nice and tender too. Now we're going to go ahead and drain that into a strainer with a large bowl underneath there. That's about a 7-quart bowl I have underneath there. And now that we got that out the way, we're going to go ahead and drain that out. Now we're going to put our chicken gizzards on the side to save that for when we put that in our gumbo later. And there you have it, guys, chicken stock. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Look at that. And that is it for all of our seasonings and seafood and our stocks. We completed everything. Now it's time to go ahead and get started with our gumbo. Yes. Now we're going to go ahead and preheat our fire to medium-low heat. Alright, so in our 12-quart pot, we're going to go ahead and add our roux. Just pour that right on in there. And we're going to get this roux hot for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. Make sure you keep stirring. Alright, now that we got that nice and mixed in, now we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings. Now we're going to go ahead and add our whole yellow onion, the whole thing, the whole entire thing, entire yellow onion. Add that in there. You're going to add your bell pepper. Just dump it in there all at once. Your 4 stalks of celery. Just dump it in there. Your 6 cloves of garlic. Dump it in there. Your parsley, about 1/4 cup of that. And your fried okra, remember that? Look at that, just add that right on in there. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. And we're going to let this fry for about 3 minutes. Now I did forget to add the green onion, so you can add the green onion in there if you like. Alright, and we're going to turn our fire from medium-low to medium-high heat. Alright, now that we got that nice and mixed in, now it's time to go ahead and add our stock. So we're going to add the 3 quarts of shrimp stock right on in there. Add it all at once. And the 3 quarts of chicken stock. Dump that in there all at once. So that's 6 quarts all together. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and mix this in. Now what we want to achieve here is we want that stock and that roux to come together, and we're going to let that boil for about an hour. We're going to let that cook for about an hour. So you set your timer for an hour. We'll be back. Alright, it's been about 1 hour now. Go ahead and mix that in. It's starting to turn out to be a nice, beautiful brown color already. Now we're going to go ahead and add our meat. So I'm going to go ahead and add our chicken gizzards, which we've made our chicken stock with. I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. Add a little bit at a time. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Alright, now that we got that mixed in, now we're going to go ahead and add our smoked sausage and our hot sausage in there. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Now we're going to go ahead and add our seasoning. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. 1 tablespoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood Magic. 1 tablespoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poultry Magic. And about 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, just to give your gumbo a little kick. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Going to give it a nice little spice. Oh yes. We're going to go ahead and put a lid on top of this, and we're going to let it cook for 1 hour. Alright, it's been about 1 hour now, and as you can see, our gumbo is boiling. Oh my goodness. Yes. It's looking good. Look, it's turning into a nice brown color. Look how beautiful that looks. Now we're going to go ahead and add our seafood. We're going to go ahead and add our shrimp, which we've cleaned, peeled, and deveined. We're going to go ahead and add that in there. Remember, that's 4 pounds of shrimp we're adding in here now. It's a lot of shrimp. Now we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Now, the cold shrimp will make the gumbo temperature go down, but that's alright. Alright, after 5 minutes, mix it in. Now we're going to go ahead and add our crabs. Add our crabs in there all at once. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix that in. We're just going to let it get hot for about 5 minutes. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes now. Our mixture is back at a slight boil now. Got it back hot again. Now we're going to go ahead and add our last ingredients, the gumbo filet. So you're going to add 1 heaping tablespoon of gumbo filet. 1 heaping tablespoon. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Make sure you mix it in real good. Get the bottom of the pot, the sides, everything. Make sure you mix it in real good. Boy, this gumbo smells good already. Look at this, turning out to be a nice golden brown. Now we're going to go ahead and cover that and let it simmer for 1 hour. Alright y'all, it's been about 1 hour, and after 3 hours of cooking, our gumbo is now done. Oh yes. Now we're going to go ahead and turn our fire off. Yes, our gumbo is now done. Look at that. You got the shrimp, the crab, the crawfish. Not the crawfish. Alright, now that we got that done now, as you can see, we're going to go ahead and serve up a quick bowl. Got my rice. We're going to go ahead and add that in there. Add some juice in there. Add some shrimp and hot sausage and smoked sausage around. Alright, now that we got that in there, go ahead and add our crab right on top. Nice and hot and delicious too. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful that is. And there you have it, gumbo made by a New Orleans native. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Just put the shrimp on it. All this damn gumbo is good. Ooh. A piece of the hot sauce. You can taste those stocks. You can taste the chicken. You can taste the shrimp stock. Oh man. And the hot sausage and that little bit of cayenne pepper give it a nice little kick. Damn good. Boy, gumbo is good. Real good, y'all. Try the recipe. You follow it step by step. Delicious. And there you have it. New Orleans Gumbo. Homemade. Made by a New Orleans native. Peace out. Gotta go. Hope you enjoy. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like up, subscribe to my channel so you can enjoy all of my delicious recipes cooked right here in my kitchen. If you have any questions or comments, please post them, or you can email me at charliethecookandrews@gmail.com. Until then, take care, and I hope you